Peace, grace, and power, ladies and gentlemen. Peace, grace, and power. What's good? What's good with everybody, man? It's your boy AS3, aka Veta Vinci. Y'all already know what time it is. Welcome to another episode of Talk About It Tizzle. Talk About It TV, y'all. I'm the host, AS3. What's good? Woo! We got a lot to talk about. But I won't take too much of y'all time because I know everybody's busy. Life be life, and that is what it is. Pardon the gap. That's what happens when you got fucked up teeth. Okay, so um, where should I start? We're gonna start with the Epstein files. I'm sure some of y'all have heard, seen. The rabbit hole gets deep. For those of you who feel like diving deep into that, I got a little information, but I would definitely want to give a shout out to all of the conspiracy theorist heads. Maybe y'all under a rock, but this has been going on for 15 years now. 10, 15 years they've been talking about this Pizzagate stuff and all of this. And everybody thought it was a joke, of course, because nobody really wants to believe that people are crazy enough to eat children and do all of the things that they are allegedly saying that these people are doing or involved with. So, my personal opinion, I don't really know. Due to the conversations that had taken place in the emails and things like that, stuff is just cringeworthy. Like, if that's what they were doing, which I'm not gonna say they were, then they all deserve to be put in the pot and cooked like some motherfucking beef stew. That's just simple and plain. That's the best way I could say it without being too disrespectful, like I really want to be. Playing with kids to that level and the way this whole shit was orchestrated from the government to everybody that's involved allegedly. What's been done in the dark must come to the light. So we're starting to see the ramifications of that. Started this new year. There's already been a lot going on. So I encourage y'all to not go too deep down that rabbit hole because you're gonna find what you're looking for. If you look long enough. I want to get into a couple of other videos that I had came across on my feed and just want to share some stuff with y'all. It's been a minute since I did an episode. Got some, a few more episodes to do that I'm working on. So be on the lookout for that. Just a couple of updates. Working on some new music. I'm very excited about to share with y'all, man. My cover's already done. I'll be sharing that with y'all soon. Really excited about this project and taking a different route in terms of delivery, in terms of my normal way of doing music. And so I'm excited to just be in this phase of exploring and working on some new greatness that will be out on all platforms soon enough. I can't give a full date right now because I'm still in the mix of fixing things and trying new stuff. So it will be some fire on there, R&B mix, rap on there. Everything it's gonna be one of them ones, and I hope y'all cherish the work that I'm gonna be bringing to y'all real soon when it comes to this music. In terms of the dance portion of what I've been doing, of course, I'm staying in shape. Y'all see me in the gym. Y'all see me constantly dancing. I will never stop. Thankfully, as long as God keeps my limbs running right, I will be constantly doing that. But I won't be dancing much on Facebook anymore. It's been about 2.5, 3 weeks now that I am demonetized. Yes, I said it. I am demonetized on Facebook platform due to the fact that when I was putting up videos dancing, I was getting flagged a lot and trying to work those issues out as we speak, but I haven't been able to get to the bottom of it. So as of right now, if you don't see many videos of me dancing on Facebook like you used to. Now you know why. I'm demonetized. I'm not saying that I was just doing it for the money because I barely made any money, even to this day. So it's not about the money. I love my art. I've been doing this my whole life, and I just that was my way of sharing with y'all. What I'm cooking up when I'm dancing, just freestyling, whatever the case may be. And they kind of closed that door on me. So I do want to put up more videos, but unless I'm able to get some original beats or do it in a different way, I can't use other people's music that I love to dance to anymore. Unless it's on unless y'all check out my Instagram or TikTok and things like that, you'll be able to go see that. But I won't hold y'all as much anymore. Just want to give y'all a couple of updates on what's going on with the channel. Channel's actually doing really well. Y'all can go on YouTube, check it out. Just type in Talk About It TV. You'll see some of the episodes that you may have missed or whatever. So you can go check it out, man. It's still fresh, still new. Had the podcast for a few years now. I want to say it's been 3-4 years now, maybe 5. But the consistency and keeping up with stuff, it's been a little, life be life, and so things happen and episodes get pushed back. But I'm gonna be doing my due diligence to make sure I give y'all some more content. And I only speak when I have something to say. Y'all already know that. So everybody else always got 1,000 things to say on their platforms, but this is not one of them. And since I happen to be one of them ones, and the last of a dying breed, which is a real thing, whether you know it or not, let's get into these couple of videos, and then I'm going to react to them so we can see what's going on, y'all. And I just came across my feed, so that's I want to get right with y'all and share some of this stuff. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's start off with this one. Here we go.
An 18-year-old accused of killing a friend after a disagreement over food is now in custody 2 weeks after the shooting.
Lamarcus Darden Jr. is accused of shooting Jarvis Davis at a Fort Worth apartment after Davis would not share his French fries. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's mom today. Peyton.
Steve, and multiple people.
French fries. All right, well, this is 2026, y'all, and I'm not gonna say what I really want to say. I'm really trying to just hold my tongue with a lot of things. The stupidity is at an all-time high. Y'all gotta really watch who you're dealing with, watch who you calling friends. I don't know nobody who's supposed to be friends that would do some shit like that to you over some French fries. Them fries wasn't that good. Ain't nothing that good for you to blow over, to just pop somebody over some food.
Witness this shooting inside of an apartment, including children. So Fort Worth police tell me they were confident in who they were looking for. We now know this 18-year-old suspect was tracked down all the way to Tyler, Texas. That's about 140 miles away from Fort Worth. He was tracked down to a hotel. Fort Worth police tell me it's possible he has family in that area.
And this happened in Texas. Shout out to Texas. You know what I mean? Lived there for some time, and yeah. But as y'all know, they everybody got guns out there, but people are really holding it down and not doing the most, even though that's probably a state where most people got guns. But at least they're being a little more, acting like they got some sense with them.
Area, but he's now back in North Texas. That suspect is at the Tarrant County Jail tonight.
It's so senseless.
Senseless. That's how Sharika Kennedy describes the murder of her son.
Why? Now that's the question. Why? No, my baby was probably genuinely his friend. My baby wasn't expecting him to shoot him. Everybody in the house was like, they thought he was joking about the fries.
19-year-old Jarvis.
19 years old. And of course, nobody's going to think that someone would do something like that. That's why we're having this discussion. You would never want to, you don't want to think that somebody you figure is close to you would do something so wild to you, whether it's over anything. Like if I gotta feel like I need to kill you, I'm not even gonna be around you. Why would you be around somebody that you don't like that you want to do that type of shit to? People just no.
Davis shot and killed inside this West Fort Worth apartment near Camp Bowie in 820 back on January 28th. Witnesses told police a group just got back from grabbing food at Wingstop when there was an argument. Investigators say Davis didn't share his fries with the suspect, later identified as 18-year-old LaMarcus Darden.
My son's girlfriend was laying on his lap at the time of it. And she said she just heard a glass break, a gunshot and a glass break.
Fort Worth police say Darden pulled out a handgun, shot Davis in the head, and took off from the complex. He was tracked down nearly 2 weeks later. Kennedy, a mother of 8, now with a missing piece in her family and frustrated considering she says her son and Darden were friends.
How it happened is just, I'm never going to be okay with it. I'm never going to be okay with it.
And Darden transferred to the Tarrant County Jail yesterday. He is charged with murder. This evening, we reached out to his attorney. They got back to us. The attorney tells us he's not ready to make a public statement at this time.
Ready to make a public statement. Yeah, I don't get it, y'all. Let's go into this next one.
You know King Leopold?
No, I don't.
Oh, my man.
King.
Let's not talk about King Leopold.
Wait.
You know King Leopold?
No, I don't.
Oh, my man.
King Leopold? You don't know
No,
King?
I don't There's a book called Leopold's Ghost. Go ahead. You want to tell him? Or
Well, Leopold, we got to start further back.
Yes.
Berlin Conference, 1885. Check that.
Yeah.
Where all the colonial powers got.
Shout out to these, shout out to this podcast, 154 podcast, and shout out to Boris Kodjoe. A lot of y'all know who he is. He's well-known actor. Godfrey's on there, and I don't know the other guy, but shout outs to them. And this is some stuff that I already knew a little bit about, but for some of y'all who may not have known about Leopold and fuckery, here it is.
Together and decided to divide up Africa into 54 countries, right? Because before, Africa was the United States of Africa. It was just tribes all over the continent. There were no borders. So they decided to divide up Africa in pieces, and then all these colonial powers took ownership of those countries. There was not a single African country present at this Berlin Conference.
Yeah.
And the reason why they did that is in order to render each one of those countries helpless, because they're now vulnerable and small, right? Because before you had these huge, gigantic tribes, millions and millions of people. It would have been very tough for them to go over there and exploit and rob them of their natural resources.
Separate them.
So they separated and conquered, exactly. And King Leopold took ownership of Central Africa and the Congo. And his reign of death resulted in 13 million people being killed.
Yeah.
And he would enslave them. He would make them cultivate the land. And if they came back with product under the limit, he would cut their limbs off.
Yeah.
Kids.
And they sell the
Feet,
hands, the chocolate
and
hands.
hands.
They still sell.
13 million bodies. Like, these type of stories, to me, it bothers me so much, because it's like, how is that even possible for you to be under so much power, whatever the fuck is going on with these weirdos, for them to be able to take out 13 million black people just to run some shit that ain't had nothing to do with them in the first place? You know the type of mentality you gotta have to be that fierce, like to be that That's diabolical, y'all. 13 million people and separating everybody up and doing the bullshit. Like, we just keep getting bamboozled every single way possible for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. To this day, we're still going through it. And that's why it's very, very, very important to keep your peace as much as you can, because you can let so much come into your brain and your space, your energy, whether you're listening to something, seeing something, and certain things may trigger you in different ways. I know I love people, I love kids, so when I hear about this stuff, the Epstein shit, it pisses me off. When I hear about things like this with Africa, it pisses me, like, I get upset, but I still check myself and I still gotta wheel back a little bit and be like, the only thing you could do is control what you can in your circumference and take care of your people and your situation. Until you're able to do other things for others. Gotta really focus on you, but it's sad, man. But it ain't nothing new.
The hands and delicacies, chocolate hands.
They
But
never taught me this in school.
Of course not.
You learn it outside of it. I learned it in college outside of that.
Yeah.
No.
You read outside.
Also, you got to realize
Yeah.
colonialism is not over, right?
Word.
It's not over. This is still going on to this day. And the absurdity is, I'll give you an analogy. You have a community of houses and there's one neighbor who decides that he deserves more than the other people. So he starts going over to other people's houses and stealing their food and going into the pantry while they're at work and stealing stuff and enriching himself, right? And after a while, he gets more emboldened. He starts unhooking their plumbing and their electricity and their water and takes it over to his house. And when somebody objects, he throws a brick to their window and says it was a neighbor. And he starts pitting them against each other.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And they start fighting. And there's violence. And he starts giving guns to one so they can kill the other, and giving guns to them to kill the other. And he starts, creating all this
Chaos,
craziness
yeah.
and chaos and violence. And it goes on for years and years and years. So after a while, now his house is the biggest house in the neighborhood. And he's got a compound because he's sort of gotten some other houses, paid cents on a dollar because the neighborhood is in uproar, the community is dilapidated and destroyed, so people have nothing to eat anymore. And then all of a sudden, people start coming over to his house, right? Because he's the only one on the block who's got food, who's got shelter, who's got security, so they're jumping over fences and sleep in his backyard, and they work for scraps and work in his kitchen, and he calls them violent intruders, scum of the earth. He calls the police on them, and the police removes them back to their houses. But they don't exist anymore, right? Because they're dilapidated and destroyed. The whole community is destroyed. There's violence everywhere. Nothing works anymore.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by
Ian, just
wanted to share that with y'all, man. That's if y'all haven't seen that episode, go ahead and check that episode out. Sad stuff, but real truth. This is what we're dealing with, y'all. This is what we're dealing with. Whether you like it or not, what you gonna do about it? Last but not least, I want to speak on a couple other things. The ICE stuff, the ICE situation around where I'm at. Out here, not too far from DC. To make a long story short, I go get my coffee from a specific spot, and one of the guys that I talk to on a day-to-day basis showed me a video of that he caught right outside his store. Some ICE agents showed up and threw a couple of people in some cars, and he had it on video. He showed it to me yesterday, and I'm just like, damn. So I want y'all to be safe out there, especially if you're illegal. You don't got your shit right, your papers together. I don't even know what's going on with that and where they scattered around at, but from what I just heard, they're all over the place. So be careful with this ICE stuff, y'all, and speaking of the ice, like, when we're talking about music with Drake, he's supposed to have an Iceman album. You better change that fucking name, or at least that would be smart. But hey, you know, do you? And since we're on the topic of hip hop, shout out to all of the artists that's doing good music right now. Shout out to Kendrick, who's really just trend setting, doing what he do. Shout out to Clips for doing what they do. Real hip hop is back, man. Real rap is back. So I'm excited to be creating right now. I'm excited to drop some flame that's much needed for the culture. Shout out to J. Cole for that beautiful masterpiece that he just did. The album is fire. So it's a lot of good music coming out. And New York is doing well. Shout out to Max B and all of them guys, French Montana and all of them. So New York has been doing well. So musically, it's been good spirits and good space right now for hip hop, y'all. So if you're a creator, if you're doing music, work on dropping some shit and not, and I ain't talking about no bubblegum microwave rap garbage shit. Make sure you really get into some bars, have some good concepts, and it's time to really speak on something, because there's a lot going on and people want to hear real stories with a real effect behind the music. So I'm looking forward to giving y'all some of this greatness that I got coming. Definitely going to show y'all the cover, like I said, but what we got to do, y'all, is just stay out the way, really. I mean, go to work, take care of your family, do what you're supposed to do, but stay your ass out the way, because unfortunately, we dealing in some times where you can go to the store and not even come back home, depending on what's going on and depending on where you at in the world. Luckily, by the grace of God, I'm not in no area where I need to be looking over my shoulder and worried about this, that, and the third. There's a lot of money involved where I'm at. There's a lot of people who give a shit about who they are. They give a shit about their properties, and they're not trying to bother nobody, but they just trying to stay out the way. And if you're not around those type of people that's, doing what they got to do, but also trying to maintain what they got and not be in the headlines, that'd be the best bet for you. But, to each his own. Everybody got different situations and just trying to figure out where they belong. This is me contributing and putting together my piece for this segment for Talk About It TV, Worldly Issue Part 1. And I'll be back on when I got something to say, of course, about some more worldly issues or whatever the case may be. But aside from that, y'all, stay elevated, continue to enjoy the rest of this year. We just starting off the new year right. Make sure you're working out, drinking water, you know what I mean, and changing your diet and doing some things that's going to help elevate you and your people in the future. So without further ado, you already know what time it is, man. Peace, grace, and power. I'm out.